Bonjour, bonsoir, dear friends, and welcome on JCB Live Happy Hour. We're going to go to one of our favorite states in the world, not just in the United States. We're going to go to Louisiana today, to Baton Rouge. Is there a better name as a French name than the Baton Rouge? We're going to be with one of the most exceptional, charismatic, funny, entertaining, educational chef there is. His name is Jay DuCote, very French. I cannot wait to convert with him all in French. He's a big TV personality. You're going to see that. He's been on TED Talks, very exciting conversation. He's been very big on the Food Network, and he's going to show us a few recipes. He has his own restaurant he's going to tell us about, and he's the best. He educates the younger generation as well, and really is electric, contagious, and very passionate. So Jay, as we are together, we got to do it together. I'm passing you the baton of the cork.
Let's do
It's
it.
going slowly, slowly, slowly. Are you ready? Whoop!
Hey! All right.
It's so good to see you. We're
Great to
going to
see
have
you
a
as
toast
well.
that you can drink out of the bottle directly.
Oh, hey, that's not a bad idea as well. All right.
I know you've done it a few times before. Yeah, baby.
Up you.
Well, I'll
Up
do
you.
that too. Jay, why
Might
don't
as
we
well.
do a toast from the bottle and we drink directly from the bottle? I think it's a much better idea. From the
All
bottle
right.
directly.
There you go.
Un, deux, trois. Santé to Baton Rouge.
So Baton Rouge. Cheers, my friend. Ah, that's
God,
a
I love
delicious, delicious bubbles
Hey, how
there.
do you feel having bubbles being fed to you directly from the bottle?
Yeah, oh, it's nice. The effervescence really comes through that way.
As you say. So what are the big latest news? We are in fabulous early March in amazing Louisiana, one of the states everybody loved the most. Give us a little bit of an update from Baton Rouge.
Yeah, this is the season to be in Louisiana right now. Crawfish season is here, and we're celebrating life however we can. And this is one of the best times of year to do so. The weather's great in March and April in Louisiana, and the crawfish come out, and we have these big communal crawfish boils. We'll see how it goes this year, but even if it's just a small group in a backyard, it's gonna be fun. This would actually pair really well with crawfish.
Exactly. Do you think tell us about how would you pair this, or how would you do the crawfish to pair with this wine?
Are you still on the bubbles there? Yeah. So the crawfish are going to have so much spice to them, right? We use a lot of cayenne. We use a lot of other spices, a lot of onion and garlic, and lemon juice, and I think all of that with the kind of the sweetness of the crawfish itself really. These bubbles would be nice, and then the way that an effervescent wine like this works with that spice, and with just kind of sitting there and using your hands and eating the crawfish, it's nice to have something to cleanse the palate a little bit too.
I totally agree. Woo la la. So before we start with a few questions, we could see you in your marvelous kitchen. It's looking so good.
Thank you.
We
Thank
could
you.
see your beautiful spice and sauces. So those are your own
Yeah.
creation. Is it correct?
Yeah, that's right. This is my JD's product line up here, and we have 4 different spice rubs. We're going to use the hot chicken rub today, but we're actually going to use it on shrimp. We're making my own twist on a shrimp and grits, which is a classic Southern dish that I think is even better in Louisiana because we have all the Gulf shrimp coming right out of the Gulf of Mexico that are fantastic. But this hot chicken rub is gonna spice up our fried shrimp that we'll do to go on top of the grits. And then I also have my Louisiana barbecue sauce and Louisiana molasses mustard here. And those are my 2 sauces, and they do great. I love outdoor cooking. I really learned how to cook throwing tailgate parties for LSU football games, and that barbecuing and grilling and outdoor cooking is really my expertise.
Well, this is so exciting. So everybody can order those sauces they wish today.
Sure.
What would be the best websites to order them from you?
Yeah, so the best thing to do is to go to jducote.com. It's JayDucote. We here in Cajun French Louisiana kind of changed the pronunciation of the name. It's a hard E on the end, Ducote. I'm sure I would imagine it would have been like a Ducote or something in
That's right.
France. But
And
we
can you believe exactly, Jay? So one of my best friends in high school was called DuCote. That's
uh-huh.
how we may want to say it too. So maybe I'm going to check if he has a cousin or brother in Louisiana, because maybe you have some relationship in Burgundy too.
There you go. That's a possibility. I need to get to Burgundy as well, so we got to make that happen.
Well, you'll be our guest anytime, and we cannot wait to welcome you in Napa, Sonoma, or of course France, because you're pretty much halfway. It's quicker for you to go to Paris probably than to go
That's
to
right.
Napa Valley.
That's right. I can just head
So,
that way.
Jay, of course. So, what are you going to be cooking today? I know you have two big surprises, and as we discuss, you're going to show us how to do them, because I'm going to be the one ordering your sauce, and I'm going to try that in my kitchen. It looks very exciting.
Yeah. So we're gonna get started with the grits for the shrimp and grits. We're gonna do a quick pickle on some radishes, and then we're gonna fry the shrimp, and then we're gonna toss that in that hot chicken rub with a little coconut oil as well. So the first thing that I'm gonna do to get everything started is get my liquid for the grits in the pot, and then get the heat on. So I've got 2 cups of whole milk, and then 2 cups of chicken stock that I'm going to get in here and start to let that get up to a boil, and then I can put my grits in.
Well, I'm so glad you walking us through the process as we look at it, because this is something which is fairly achievable for someone like me who doesn't spend much time in the kitchen. It takes 5-10 minutes to do, right?
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer than that for the grits, but not a whole lot. These aren't instant grits. If you use something that cooked a little bit faster, it would go a little bit faster. These grits are probably going to take more like 20-30 minutes. So I wanted to get those started so we can focus on the wines.
So, outstanding. So, Jay, we have so much to cover. I want to start with the big question. How did you leave your day job to really pursue your passion? Because this is really impressive. Your track record, as we're going to spend more time discussing your phenomenal path. It takes a lot of guts to do what you've done. Walk us through the process.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I got my degrees from LSU in economics and political science. I actually got a master's in political science, and then worked multiple jobs. But I really kind of found my passion in the food world, and it started with blogging and writing about food, and then radio, and then all sorts of other TV opportunities came my way, and the product line, and hiring a team, and growing things. But in the very early days, it was really the blog and then the radio show. And as that was getting bigger and bigger, and I was getting busier with it, and it was taking up more of my time while I was working a 9-to-5 job, I really kind of knew that I had to make a decision on the 9-to-5 job or really pursuing my passion. And so I was able in 2011 to get to a point where I had a little bit of revenue coming in. I had 6 months of living expenses saved up, and I said, you know what, now's the time. Worst case scenario is 6 months from now I have to go get another job, but I got to try this, and so I was able to quit my day job at that time and just focus on the food and beverage world, and I really never looked back. It was the best decision I ever made.
That's amazing, though, but it takes a lot of risk to just do that, specifically in 2011.
It was certainly risky. There's no doubt about that. There was a lot of risk in it, but I just felt like it was the right thing for me to do. I was so busy doing the things that I loved, and I really didn't have time for the job that I didn't love anymore. That was paying my bills. I didn't know how I was going to do that on my own, but I knew I had to try, and so I went for it. And fortunately, it's all worked out pretty well.
Absolutely. And you mentioned LSU. You're a great mentor to many programs there. You're very involved with the university. Do you want to tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about what you're doing there?
Yeah, I've definitely stayed involved with LSU. They're my two-time alma mater. I learned how to cook, throwing tailgate parties for LSU football games, and I've certainly always stayed in touch with them and been a part of LSU. I've given a TEDx LSU talk. I've actually was invited to give a commencement speech for an LSU graduation, and for 6 years or so now. I've sat on the Dean's Advisory Council for the College of Humanities and Social Sciences at LSU, just helping guide a lot of the decisions for that college and helping LSU and the liberal arts programs there stay on track and grow and increase student population and help create scholarship opportunities for students and anything else that we can do.
And inspire them as well, because you're a great inspiration coming
I'll
from
try.
there and having followed your passion. So, on that note, tell us all the things you're doing in the world of food. You did a major contest. I mentioned it on the Food Network. You became a big
Yeah.
star overnight.
Yeah, so
Tell us about that fun experience.
I've gotten to do a few Food Network shows. Fortunately, the biggest was a show called Food Network Star. I was on season 11 of that show. It was in 2015. It's where they took 12 people out to Los Angeles, and it's a reality competition show. It's the prize at the end is getting your own show on Food Network. It was it's super crazy competition. It's part cooking and then part on camera presentation and could you host your own show sort of challenges. And so every episode somebody gets eliminated, and so it goes from 12 to 11 to 10 and so on. And I was actually never up for elimination the entire show, and was one of the three finalists. I got to shoot a pilot for my own show on Food Network, and I ended up finishing runner-up, but then got invited to actually film a true feature-length, full TV episode pilot for a show called Deep Fried America that wound up airing on the Travel Channel. And so I actually said I got a 40 under 40 award back in 2011 from the Baton Rouge Business Report, and my quote in there, if I could have any job in the world, what would it be? And at that time I said, I want Anthony Bourdain's job, or my own show on the Travel Channel. And so I've actually had a pilot for my own show air on the Travel Channel, and so pretty close to accomplishing that one. Would love to get back over there.
Yeah, and is it something you'd like to further pursue?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely something that I would really love to do. It's opportunities that I continue to look for. My grits and chicken stock's up to a boil here, or my milk and chicken stock. So I'm adding these grits in. I'm just going to add them kind of slowly and then give them a little stir, and then let them keep cooking over here. So it's really
temperature more or less?
Yeah, so I've got it on a medium high heat, and it's really up to a boil, and then I reduced it down to a pretty hard simmer. So it's not a full boil right now, especially after I added the grits, but it certainly has a few bubbles popping up. So I want to keep that going at a little simmer. I'm gonna add my backyard brisket rub. So this is one of my JD's products right here. It's my backyard brisket rub. This is what I use for smoking briskets in the backyard. But it's really a blend of coarse kosher salt and a very coarse ground black pepper at a proper ratio. So I actually use it for a little salt and pepper seasoning for all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more. Can't have too much.
Hey, Jay, don't you think we should add a little bit of JCB 21 into it?
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
What about if we bring a little bit of a twist? I know you love to innovate. Just pour a tiny bit in there for us.
Well, I need more for my glass as well. So look at that. That's a great idea. It needed a little bit more liquid anyway.
Absolutely.
We've got plenty cheese and some cream cheese that we're going to add to it in a second as well to really make it a really nice creamy grit. So All right.
And what's the history of that recipe? Because it's really an icon from where you're from, right?
Yeah, yeah. Shrimp and grits is a big dish in Louisiana. Certainly in New Orleans, you can go to a lot of restaurants, and at brunch time you find a version of shrimp and grits. Also super popular around the South, and certainly also in like South Carolina and places like that. You can find shrimp and grits. A lot of times they'll argue over if that New Orleans shrimp and grits or Low Country Carolinas shrimp and grits are better, and I always contend that the New Orleans versions are better. This one's kind of a mixture. The grits are going to be really great, but you also have the way that we're going to fry the shrimp and then use my Nashville hot chicken rub. It's kind of going to take it out of New Orleans and more just kind of to the south. But that's going to be fun. So I'm going to do a quick
So,
pickle on some radishes as well, and we're gonna put a little bit more JCB in that too. I just put some rice wine
great.
vinegar, and now we'll throw some bubbles in there as well.
Well, we're very
Yeah.
honored to be part of such great recipe. So, how do you explain the fact that the South, where you're from, is producing so many great chefs? What's
Yeah.
happening in your world to really give birth to so much inspiration?
Yeah, I think I think the South as a whole just has a long history with foodways. We all were doing farm to table before farm to table was cool. I think so much of the great food around the world really comes out of poverty. It comes out of the necessity to take something that an ingredient that other people don't want, and make it great, make it taste really good, so you can eat it, but that's all you can really afford. And I think when you look at cuisines around the world, a lot of times some of the best foods are really coming out of from places people that don't have much. It's and you just have to take the cheap ingredients and make it good. So I think the South has kind of always cooked that way. The South has always just had to take whatever ingredients they could find, whatever ingredients they could grow, and find a way to make it taste good.
Now, very fascinating. Now, Jay, on that note, how did you actually really, from an economic major, political science, and the traditional studies you've done, how did you become so quickly such a great chef? I mean, it's not something you just improvise, though. You need to know the basics and have a certain education. How did you formalize yours?
Yeah, so I never went to culinary school, but I really did become a student of food, and of wine and beer and whiskey as well. But when I realized that I really had that I enjoyed writing about these things, that also came from really loving and wanting to learn about them. The more that I wrote about food, the more that I really got passionate about understanding food and where ingredients came from and the history of certain dishes. And then the more that I researched that, almost like that's what I was studying in school, the more that I just kind of got into it even more. And so a lot of my training really was doing online research and watching videos and watching TV cooking shows and just watching other people do these things and then trying to repeat it, and then getting enough confidence and enough skill to want to be able to do those things myself. And I really very early on, with some of the success that I had with blogging and radio and some early TV shows, started to develop a following, and people wanted to eat my food just because they'd seen a picture that I posted on Facebook or that I had tweeted out. And so I started the private chef stuff kind of early, and it's grown a lot since then. And I've gotten a lot better at this since then. But people were willing to give me a chance and give me an opportunity to cook for them, even though I really, at that time, looking back in 2010, 2011, didn't know what I was doing in the kitchen. Um, and even still, I love being a student of these things. When you find something that you're really passionate about, you never want to stop learning. And I'm sure you're like that with wine. Like you want to know everything that you can, but you're never going to know everything. But if you have that passion, you take every opportunity to meet somebody or to talk to somebody, to watch some movie or some documentary or some video and learn something that you didn't know before about that industry. And so that's what I do. I just kind of soak it all up, and I enjoy everything about the food and beverage world. Well, thank you.
Well, I'm with you. You know, often I typically say the more I taste, the less I know, and the more I need to taste to further up. So I'm totally with you. Now, what is your recommendation for some of our friends who are with us today and who will watch this at their own time to want to come to the food world without any formal training? So you pretty much said it, but what would be kind of a methodology you would advise them to follow rather than going to the culinary schools that we know?
Yeah, so it's always going to take time. It's going to take patience, but you have to have that attitude of never stop learning. And every technique, every ingredient, everybody out there that has a different way of doing things or a different way of thinking about things in the kitchen is going to be able to help you out along the way. So really, your job as a student, and it doesn't have to be in culinary school or anything, but your job as a student is to soak up as much knowledge as you can, and that can come from so many different places, and you can get inspiration from every meal that I go eat, I get some inspiration from. And if it's not something that I want to do or a flavor combination that I want to try, or I think it would do a really good wine pairing or beer pairing, maybe sometimes some meals I'm just saying I know what not to do now, but you're still taking every opportunity you can to learn. And if you have a passion for it, you're going to find a way. And then it's just don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and just make something happen. It's that's really how I got started with all this was writing a blog that at the beginning nobody had any business reading, but then people started reading it, and I kept writing it, and it turned into everything that I'm doing now. So pretty crazy.
That's brilliant. Well, I'm going to have a toast on the next wine for you.
Perfect.
With Wild Creek, which really symbolizes transformation. And because of the butterfly, of course, on the label, which is a great white blend. And we wanted to try this wine with you because we believe, one, it's going to go well with spicy food, so you'll tell us.
Yeah.
And then transformation, because it's amazing from where you started. You've even opened your own restaurant. So tell us about Government Taco.
Yeah, Government Taco is my restaurant, Mid-City, Baton Rouge. It's a fun taco shop. It's a kind of a modern American taco shop. So we celebrate the taco, but we take flavor combinations from around Louisiana, from around the South, and really even from around the world, and we serve it in the form of a taco. And so some of it gets a little bit more traditional, Mexican, Tex-Mex, Cali-Mex, but then some of it is completely different. Like we do, my favorite taco on the menu is called the Clucks and Balances. So it is government taco, so it's a lot of governmental puns. So Clucks and Balances, it's smoked chicken thigh that uses my spicy and sweet barbecue rub, which is this one here. And then it's also got a pimento mac and cheese, a white barbecue sauce, which is really more Alabama style, and then hot chicken skins, which are just crispy bits of fried chicken skin that we actually toss in the hot chicken rub that I have. And so it's truly a Southern taco. I mean, it's smoked chicken and mac and cheese and Nashville hot chicken skins and white barbecue sauce, all served on a taco. That would go well. I
love it. So your own creation. So you play, you experiment, and you say, here it is. We'll have this on the menu.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We do a lot of that. I've got a great team that works at Government Taco as well, and so I've got multiple people that are experimenting, that are coming up with flavor combinations, that are helping come up with weekly or monthly taco specials, and then of course the menu that we have has quite a few different things on it, and we've got a pig ear dish on the menu right now. It's fun. We get to play, and we're trying to do things that you don't find at every restaurant around here, and and be something unique to Baton Rouge. So it's a good time, and it keeps us busy and keeps us on our toes.
And it's so great because if you're an innovator as you are, you know, the kitchen is probably the best lab where you could play with all different types of senses and
Yeah.
emotions and feelings and spice, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Your imagination is your limit.
Yeah, for sure. The kitchen's a great place to just get to play and be creative and experiment. Like you said, it makes it fun. All right,
So what do we have? Give us your own description of the wine because we want to make sure it goes very well with the dish you are preparing.
I think it's
it will.
gonna pair very very well. So this is very nice. It's crisp. I get a little green apple, maybe a little pear, a little
Yep.
honeydew perhaps. It's smooth. It's got a little silkiness to it.
Well, you're in
Nice.
Baton Rouge. You're very smooth. We had to have a smooth wine.
I like it. Wattle Creek. So this is coming out of California. Tell me about Wattle Creek.
Yeah, so this is a great winery we have in the heart of Sonoma, and this is one of our wine we love to serve with spicy food on buffets, with tacos, with obviously the food you're preparing as well because of, you know, the association of all the grape varieties really combining and bring that good acidity balance that hopefully will highlight and help the wine, but as well the spice that you're cooking with. So now you tell us what you're doing over there.
So I'm stirring our grits right now. So this was the milk with the chicken stock, and then those yellow corn grits and a little salt and pepper, and they've been going for a few minutes now, and so I just wanted to give them a stir and make sure nothing was crazy sticking to the bottom or anything like that, and let it keep simmering for a little while and cooking down. Those grits really need to soak up all that liquid and rehydrate. So it's corn is what grits are. It's all just kind of milled down corn, just not milled down all the way to turn it into like a corn meal or a masa. But you kind of have to cook them in a lot of liquid and bring them back to life, and then that's really just a conduit for butter or cream or cheese after that, you know, and you just kind of make it good and hearty.
All my favorite things in one.
Yes.
So, as you love to drink wine, I think you have a very famous moment in your life where you were drinking wine with puppets. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Oh man, you guys did your homework there. Yeah. So I've both as a YouTube series, video series, and then as well on my radio show, we've done segments where a local puppeteer and puppet maker named Clay Ashe joins me, and we drink with puppets. The segment's called Free Booze Friday, and being in the culinary and beverage industry on the media side with blogs and radio and social media and TV and stuff like that, I get a good bit of free alcohol just shipped to me in the mail. PR companies or breweries or wineries that send me
For
stuff to
sure.
try, or you know, I've got 3 bottles here from you that we haven't opened yet that you know I could drink with a puppet. And so
Of course.
Free Booze Friday really is just a segment where we get Clay to come in and voice one of his puppets and review the bottle of booze with me. So we've done that with wine quite a few times, and really the whole point is that we've seen so many YouTube videos or online videos of people reviewing bourbon or beer or wine. And if they're just sitting there, one person or 2 people talking to the camera and just, you know, giving it a smell, and, I taste black currants and cherry, it gets a little boring, you know. I mean, it can be
For
good,
sure.
it can be educational, but you can only watch so many of those. So we just said, how about we spruce it up a little bit and we have me be the guy that's trying to do an honest booze review, but then the puppet really gets to just go crazy in whatever direction they want, whatever that character is. And so I'm trying to kind of play the straight guy and just actually, like, I'm trying to do a legit booze review, but then the puppet's always throwing me off or taking the conversation in a different direction or something like that. And really all of them none of them are rehearsed. So we open up the bottle and we start going, and it's me and the puppet having a conversation, but we don't really know where the conversation is going to go. And I think that makes it a little bit more organic and more interesting as well.
So tell us where we could find those great videos.
Yeah, so some of them, some of the more recent ones that we did on my radio show, and we had to stop doing it when COVID started. We might be able to try to get back to it sometime soon. I got to see what Clay's availability is, our puppet master. But some of the original Free Booze Friday episodes should be on my YouTube channel. I believe I moved some of them to there. Or you might just be able to search online for Jay DuCote Free Booze Friday or something like that and find it. A website out there in California called Geek Nation picked up the original series that we did. And so they might still be living on their website or their YouTube channel as well. But the series was called Free Booze Friday, and yeah, it's me drinking with puppets.
Very cool. So we saw you.
I want to get back to it. So if you want to sponsor the segment, we could start filming some new ones. That's what we need.
Here we go. So what did you do there? Did you put the shrimps into the?
So I just have my fryer basket here on top of a fryer, and now I have my lovely gulp shrimp right here, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those and put them in a little wet wash, and then I'm actually using a saltine cracker batter today, so that ought to be fun. Yeah. So Slappy Mama is these guys right here, a little Slappy Mama hot sauce. This is a Cajun pepper. It's a Cajun pepper sauce, but Slappy Mama's out of Ville Platte, Louisiana, and I work with those guys a lot, and I love their hot sauce. So I'm going to add some of that to.
What makes that so good? Why do you like it so much?
So this particular hot sauce has a really nice blend of cayenne and some vinegar, and the flavors just really kind of pop. I think it's really just got the right consistency. Some hot sauces you find are too thin. Some might be really thick for other purposes, but I think this is just great all-around hot sauce. It's awesome on jambalayas and gumbos and things like that here in South Louisiana, and I really enjoy it. There you go.
Very cool. Well, we'll get some as well. That seems to be one of the components, huh?
Yep, absolutely. So I just had a little milk and egg in here, and then I'm going to take that and add the shrimp to it. Let's see. I'll be able to do this.
I'm so excited. We see you live doing it. This is great.
Yeah.
So tell us as well, you do a ton of things for charity in Louisiana. There's been a lot of things happening in your neck of the woods. So maybe you want to tell us all the great things you're doing for children and feeding people and all that, because I think it's very commending and it should all be noted.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I certainly stay pretty busy and stay pretty active in my community, and there's always different stuff going on that I'm trying to help out where I can. A lot of that is definitely for the kids. We've got a great children's museum here that actually is going to come film at Government Taco sometime pretty soon. And we're going to create a little educational module for the Children's Museum that people will be able to watch virtually as well, about all the different parts of the kitchen, a restaurant kitchen. So I'll do a little tour on that. I'm also I'm the keynote speaker very soon at the Young Entrepreneurs Academy, and that'll be a great way to give back to some middle school and high school students that are pitching their business ideas to a panel of investors.
Oh, great.
More the economic side there, but I'm excited to be a part of that. And then there's just, there's always different things going on. Certainly in the food world, and different ways that I'm involved with lots of different charity cook-offs and things along those lines. And I know over the past year it's just been difficult for everybody, especially fundraisers out there that are trying to keep organizations going. And anywhere that I can help out, I really love to. I know our local fundraising group with St. Jude's Children's Hospital, that I'm on the National Culinary Council for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and they usually do a big fundraiser attached to the Kentucky Derby around here. A day at the Derby is what they call it. And last year they had to cancel it, and this year they're not going to be able to do anything in person. They're going to do a virtual fundraiser, and they've got me helping host a virtual bourbon tasting. So I'm gonna get
Cool.
to do that, and it's all for the kids.
Well, congratulations. Now, where do you find all this fabulous inspiration?
That comes, I don't know, naturally a lot of times. I surround myself with great people that are doing cool stuff, and that presents a lot of opportunities to me in a lot of ways. And then I really think that that a lot of it is just keeping my eyes open and seeing what opportunities can come my way. It's crazy how you can get inspired, I would say. It comes from so many places, and you have good days and you have bad days, and you have days that you want to go conquer the world, and other days that it's hard to get out of bed. But generally speaking, I would say that a lot of the people around me inspire me to keep pushing, to keep creating, to keep wanting to grow everything that I'm doing. My brain, I guess, in just the way that I'm wired, I'm always trying to think of what's next. It's never necessarily even about all the things that I have going on right now. It's trying to figure out what's going to happen next, and what I can do with that. And so that's where a lot of that comes from. Is just trying to always have a vision for the future. But it's not always easy, but still try.
So, on that note, what's next? I know you've done a ton of things, and we've
Yeah.
lived obviously a very unique year for restaurant. But what's next for you?
Well, so one of the big question marks is how are we going to grow Government Taco? We've got the one location open in Baton Rouge right now, and we're trying to really think about, can we do multiple locations, or is there a different way I would like to grow the restaurant component of what I'm doing? And so there's a lot of thought being put into that. Same thing with my product line. Some of these rubs we really just launched commercially, and so they're brand new to the market, and so I've got to figure out distribution strategies and things with that, and then also look to the future for what other products I would like to be launching to go with the rubs and the sauces that I have. And then my radio show and everything like that I do here in Baton Rouge, we're always looking at how to grow that or what might be next there. So there's a lot of what's next, and then I'm always looking for that next big opportunity, the next Food Network star or beat Bobby Flay or something like that I can get myself into.
Well, is that one of your dreams, to beat him up on the contest, on the show?
I already did. I beat him in an episode that aired in the summer of 2019. Beat Bobby Flay on Food Network. I took him down doing a Louisiana crawfish boil.
Are you dead? Well done.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that was a big achievement for my career for sure. Getting that victory over Bobby.
Chefs are pretty competitive, aren't they?
Yeah, chefs are chefs are pretty much always competitive. There's no doubt about that. I try not to be overly competitive, maybe more competitive with myself. But then again, I competed in all sorts of televised cooking competitions, so I guess I am competitive in the end.
And where do you see the evolution of food in America at large?
It's a great question. Every year there's different conversations about, what are going to be the hot food trends this year and things along those lines. Um, I still believe certainly in things going as local as possible, hyper local movements. Really attention to that farm to table style
Yeah.
dining and people supporting their local farms and their local butchers and kind of a return to the foodways that are more efficient. I think that's also really the big trend in craft beer right now, and I do a lot with
Mhm.
craft beer and a lot with local breweries. So much of what I drink in the beer world is brewed right here in Baton Rouge, or at least in South Louisiana and New Orleans or Lafayette, Louisiana, or somewhere around there. And I think that trend has been going on for a little while now, and I think it's going to continue. And I think people are getting a little bit more adventurous as well, and I think the average person is a little bit more open to different international flavors now. I feel like the Vietnamese or the Thai restaurants or the Korean barbecue restaurants are places that people want to go and experience different flavors, even if they can't travel to those places.
That's right. They want to travel for the food, huh?
Right, right. Yeah, you can just travel through your taste buds.
Yes. Well, talking about taste buds, as we have a
Yeah,
few minutes here, I want to have a toast with a red wine as well.
perfect.
And
Let's
you'll tell
do
me
it.
which one will go best with your wonderful recipe there. I could see the grits
Yep, the
is
grits are
coming
coming
along.
together.
Huh?
Yeah, the grits are getting close over here. And then I just stirred in some cream cheese into the grits to cream them up a little bit. You could add some heavy cream as well if you didn't want to do the cream cheese, just to give them a little creaminess. A little butter would work as well. And then I've also got a little aged white cheddar over here, and so I'm going to mix that in too and get that cheesiness all
Oh,
in the grits.
whew. We
Yeah,
are melting as much as the cheese is. This is pretty exciting. We
that's
want to
it.
try.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Let's see here. All right, I've got my red wine poured here. Wattle
Yeah,
Creek
it's a
Winery
California
2019
blend.
red.
That's
I
it. So
love a
that's
good
the
blend.
whole idea, is really to create kind of a fabulous 2019 osmosis. As you can see, all those great butterflies on the label.
Mm.
The idea is to bring 7 to 8 grape varieties together and create something as you are with the spice, bringing
Mm.
all the elements of those great grapes together.
That is delicious.
Thank you.
I, I really like that wine a lot. It's very agreeable, right? It can go with so many things. It 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 drinks like a great red blend, I guess. Like I feel like there's elements of like a Pinot that would work really well with a lighter dish, with a chicken or a pork dish, or even some Louisiana seafood. But then and I certainly don't know if these grapes are in there, but kind of get that full-bodied fruitiness that you would get out of a Merlot. Um,
That's right. It's in there for
it's nice.
sure. And we thought those two wines, or three for that matter, with the bubbles, could go very well into government taco too.
Oh, now we're talking. Now
Do
we're
you
talking.
serve
So
wine over there?
yeah, so we actually have a little draft wine system that we use at Government Taco. So we've got most of what we sell is agave spirits, tequila, margaritas, and
Sure.
palomas, and then we also sell a good bit of beer. But we do have four wines on tap. Do you do a lot of those kegged wines. Have you seen changes in
We
trends?
we
And yeah, go ahead.
we do, and we love it because for restaurant, it's such an exciting and sustainable way to serve wine. There's no spoilage, there's no cork issues. You know, the wine is always fresh and crisp. And I think in a concept like tacos and spicy food, you can bring a carafe and just enjoy the wine as we do in Europe in the old days. Yeah, so by the way, as we look at all of this, what is the dream, Jay, you have not yet accomplished?
Oh man, that's a good one. Um, Making all this turn into a lot of money, that would be nice. That's a dream that I haven't accomplished yet.
See, your
It's
Italian
getting there,
background is coming
and
back now.
yeah, we're it's been really cool growing everything that I've been able to grow, and create brands and a restaurant and the product line. But really, it's all just going to take continued growth to get to that next level. And I think that's really the biggest dream that I haven't accomplished yet is that ultimate business success and turning the passion and everything else into successful enterprises and not just something that I'm passionate about and it's fun and it's paying my bills, but really bringing it to that next level.
That's great. Well, I think you're on your way. And I'm going to contribute to that today. I'm going to go online immediately and I'm going to order some of your sauces. So I'm very excited about it.
Nice.
And we'll have our
Hey,
chef here in
appreciate
Napa
that.
Valley test them. And I think what you should do is when you come on the West Coast, as an example, you should really bring some of those amazing recipes so we introduce more people to the Baton Rouge style.
Yeah, I like it. So as we're finishing up my dish here, this is my hot chicken rub. So what's in this bottle is in this little bowl here. I added that to some liquefied coconut oil. So now
Ooh,
I have a hot chicken rub paste in this bowl, and then I'm going to add my fried shrimp to that, and then toss that up. So these shrimp are really kind of going to get coated in that hot chicken rub.
all in the wrist.
That's it.
They must like it. So, by the way, what makes those shrimp so special? I know we always talk about the Gulf of Mexico, making them so unique. Could you describe to us why they are, to your opinion?
Yeah, and here's a good shot
Ooh,
of those beautiful Gulf shrimp. So I really think that the size and then the sweetness of the shrimp really comes through here in Louisiana. We get shrimp that are like just the right size to boil, to fry, to put on your fried shrimp po' boy. They're not the huge king prawns that you can see other places, but they're also not like the little itty bitty baby shrimp that you could maybe put on a salad and that's about it. So I think that's a big part of it. But the freshness that you get when you eat these shrimp in Louisiana and the flavor that you get out of it and the just a beautiful shrimp texture. It's like the bacon of the sea. I love shrimp. Really one of my favorite
yes.
favorite things out there to eat. All right, so grits. Look at that.
Ooh,
Creamy, cheesy, gooey grits.
oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
these are going to be delightful
We
too.
are melting on the other side of the screen. It's too bad we're
Good,
2,000
good.
miles away here. If not, we would be diving into that dish immediately with the wine.
Yeah, and then I've got some of my hot shrimp here. I'm going to put those, and these are going to be extra spicy, but that's how I like it. We did that saltine cracker crust, which was a lot of fun.
Do you think the wine will be able to balance the act of the spice in the mouth, or it's going to overtake the wine?
Yeah,
What's your view?
I think so. I think so. I think I think with the spice, it really could work with this red wine. I'm going to try real quick.
I'll try without it, but I'll read your mind.
But that white wine would work really well too. All right, and so I did some little pickled radish over here as well.
Great. Looks very nice.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Now, maybe as you staging the plates, you know, we'd love to hear your big message to. I know you do a lot of TED Talks and university talks and very much mentoring kids and so forth.
Yep.
What would be the message to all of us out there now, watching from all around the world, this amazing talent from Baton Rouge, as an inspirational message in 2021 at the beginning, almost the beginning of spring?
Almost the beginning of spring. We're there, and I love spring. Big inspirational message. Don't be afraid to chase your dreams, to challenge yourself, to really pursue whatever your passion may be. It may not be wine, it may not be food and drink, you know, but whatever it is, find that passion, find that thing that really makes you happy, and just go for it. You know, find a way to really dig into it and dive into it, and it doesn't have to be creating content like we're doing here. And if you're not a writer, then a blog's not for you. And if you're not a TikToker, then that's fine too. But find your avenue. You know, find your community, find your tribe, and find that thing that you're passionate about, and celebrate it, and have something in life that you can really feel like you're celebrating, and that it's there not just as a profession or just something that you have to do, but something that you really want to do.
That's right.
That's work makes every day even more fun and more exciting. That's what I've been fortunate enough to be able to do, and that's what I would advise anybody else to do is find that thing and go for it.
I commend you for that, and your success shows it. Do you want to show us that beautiful? Woo,
I do.
Woo.
I do. So
wow.
Here's our plate that we have. I really feel like it could work extremely well with either the red or the white wine, to be honest with you. But yeah, we've got those cheesy, creamy grits on the bottom. Our Nashville hot shrimp with the JD's hot chicken rub here that you can get at jducote.com, and then that pickled radish and little microgreens on there.
Wow.
You want me to get it closer? I can walk around.
Yeah, that would be great. And Jay, we really want to thank you so much for this amazing time. Inspirational talk, of course. Look at this, baby.
Yeah, there we go.
Woo! If you want to bring Louisiana to your home, wherever you are in the world, you have the recipe now. And Jay, we cannot wait to do some events together when you come west or east. And
yeah, I would love that.
We really want to thank you for all what you're doing, for the inspiration that you are, and this great moment together. This was so fun to travel to your world.
Well, it was a pleasure having you here in Baton Rouge, and getting to see you and drink wine with you. I love the wines. Glad we got to start with the champagne, the Wattle Creek Red, a great way to end it. And yeah, thank you. I can't wait to get out to the West Coast, that's for sure. I love Napa, Sonoma, the Carneros area, just the beautiful, beautiful part of the country. And I hope you guys are doing okay. I know with the wildfires that y'all had, and the tourism industry being weird right now, that it's not hadn't been the easiest time.
No, but as long as you bring
you're doing well.
As long as you bring your fabulous shrimps and your amazing grits, we'll be fine. We'll make it.
There you go.
Thank you, Jen.
All right.
And
All right, well,
cheers and good luck. in this reopening phase and in all your endeavors, and to government tacos as well. Cheers.